Wait, this is the smartest man that ever lived. He's saying something that seems like common sense. Whatever you're able to do with all your might, do it. That's like the Nike commercial. Just do it. They stole it from Shlomo HaMelech. They owe him royalty. They should take maaser of all the money that Nike made over the last 40 years and give it to the yeshivot, give it to Bezrat HaShem, give it to somebody in Torah. I had a conversation with my Rav Ephraim. Baruch Hashem, we learn a lot, we speak a lot about everything. And over this last month, the conversation that we've had many times in the past returned about whether it's time to make Aliyah, go to Eretz Yisrael, be surrounded with Kolel, Kedusha, make shiurim online, and do whatever I'm doing now already, and perhaps it's a better environment for my kids, certainly a better environment for me. I'm going to be next to him all day, so instead of digitally. And that was the idea, that was the conversation we've had many times. Because it was up to me, I would already be there. If it was up to him, I would already be there. Why? For our personal interest, that's the best thing. But being here in Florida has been something that we decided because that's where there's the opportunity to continue doing Kiruv with things that may or may not be available over there. Especially since there are so many Jews in America and so many Jews in Florida. Now what about the fact that the full potential of the plan hasn't worked in the last few years? Well, that doesn't mean the plan didn't work. Still a lot of things were achieved. Whether it's AI Rabbi, or other technological advances that we had, or many lectures and films, and different campaigns, and food, and kollels, and Baruch Hashem, lots of other things were done. More nitzitzot of Kedusha were gathered. So even if the full potential of the plan hasn't worked, doesn't necessarily mean that the plan is no good. It's just really our timing is different than Hashem's timing. But the question is, until when? After you learn a shiur like this for so many hours, which is a lot more hours than what you guys learned it, right now in the last few hours. It took me a lot more than 3 hours to learn this stuff. It makes you feel like this is tomorrow. It makes you feel like this is now. 3 hours starting right now. We're in Oshana Rabbah right now. This is 3 hours of the climax. We're waiting for the things to happen. So, if we survive the day, I'm figuring, okay, so after Motzei Chag, I'm on a plane. But I don't make any decision without asking or Ephraim who, what, when, how. We're partners in every aspect, and including the decisions. Why? Because there's Dat Torah. And he says, I said, listen, I can do everything that I'm doing now there to a certain extent, the same way, maybe a little less, maybe more or less. Maybe some things that will suffer, some things will improve. And he says, personally, that sounds great. The question is, once Gog Magog happens, once Mashiach comes, how much are we both going to cry that you made that move and we forgot or we lost the opportunity to save another neshama that lives in America? So yeah, maybe you'll help somebody in Israel, maybe you'll help, but the reality is, are we going to cry about the one that you did in Israel, or are we going to cry about where you are right now? That we know for sure it's going to happen more. There's going to be more people doing TeShuva, more people getting... So what's enough? The big question, how much is enough? He says it's a verse. Every answer question is a verse. Shlomo HaMelech says in Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse number 10. Whatever you are able to do with your might, do it. For there's neither doing nor reckoning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave where you are going. How much is enough? Everything. Maximum potential. How much? As much as you can possibly do. As much as you can possibly give of yourself, as much as you can possibly give of your time, as much as you can possibly give of your money, as much as you can possibly give of your effort. How much is enough? As much as you can possibly do. Whatever strength you have, do it. Why? After you die, or after time's up, the only thing you're going to have regret about is not whether you ate more ice cream or not, or whether you built more buildings or not, or whether you spent more time going to the pool or not. The only thing you're going to have regret about is whether you used the tools that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you to the full potential or not. Because that's what you're going to see. You see, listen, look at all the tools you had. You had $550,000 in your retirement account, but you did not use it to do Kiruv because you were afraid to, maybe you're not going to have money when you're retired at 65 in 30 years from now. Who said you're going to live to 65? Who promised you 65? Who promised you next week? Who promised you today? You didn't give that shiur because you were tired. You didn't read that book because you wanted to read the newspaper. You didn't use this effort because whatever tools HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you, you're going to see. This is what I gave you. This is what you could have done. You could have been the Gdol Hador in your community, the Gdol Hador in your city, the Gdol Hador in Kiruv in your country. You could have been the one that helped feed 500 Avrichim every month. You could be responsible to feed thousands of neshamot if you'd have simply used the tools that I gave you, but you didn't. So what do you have for it? You have 3 cars, you have 5 houses, you have 30 watches, a substantial stock portfolio, 3 companies, 5 apps, 3 ex-wives and 1 current wife, kids with many of them and others that no one knows about. And guess what? None of that will help you now. None of that will help you. Yeah, but I have my name on the Beit Knesset. Yeah, that also doesn't help you. Yeah, but I have, why? Look at the tools you got. You use them, but use them for that. And that's why Rabbi Chaim says, if you're worried about personal, there's no decision. There's no discussion. But if you're worried about what the Prophet is saying, if you're worried about what Torah is saying, if you're worried about Kavod Hashem, the honor of Hashem, you're worried about things that are actually eternal, then you have to ask yourself whether you have done everything you possibly can with all of the tools that you have. Because that's what Shlomo HaMelech is saying. Whatever you're able to do with your might, do it. If you could work an extra hour, work. If you could learn an extra hour, meaning on Kiruv. If you are able to learn an extra hour, learn. If you're able to help more, help. Whatever you can do, do more. That's why in the world of Torah, it's constantly compared to business. Rabbi Akiva says Hashem runs the world like a business. Why? Because you're supposed to run your life in Torah as a business. Constantly look for higher goals. If you want to succeed in business, you have to constantly shoot for higher goals. The biggest failures in the world are usually people that have a to-do list that ends at some point, where they have 10 things, and once they get there, they check it, and they check the next one, and they're looking forward to finishing the to-do list. Those are usually people that are the biggest losers in the world. Why? They're looking to finish. The biggest winners, you know who they are? They're the ones that never finish a to-do list. You know why? They finished that one, but they already have 2 more other things. They finished 3 more, but they have 4 other things. Each time they finish, there's already more to be added. There is no finish. That's why they're a success, because they keep going from chayil to chayil, from place to place to do more. Completing the shas is a stepping stone. Meaning, you finish the shas to do what? So you can do it again. Okay, so after you do it again, what do? You do it again. And after you do it again, what do? You do it again. Okay, fine. After you do it 100 times, what do? 101. What do you mean? What's the question? Chumash, you finished it. What do after that? You do it again. Why? Because every single time you do it, you have to get even higher. It's not just learning it again. It's learning it anew. Learning it differently. Learning it with a new perspective. Learning it with new knowledge. Learning it with new siyata dishmaya. And when a person sees what Shlomo HaMelech says and realizes, wait, this is the smartest man that ever lived. He's saying something that seems like common sense. Whatever you're able to do with all your might, do it. That's like the Nike commercial. Just do it. They stole it from Shlomo HaMelech. They owe him royalty. They should take maaser of all the money that Nike made over the last 40 years and give it to the yeshivot, give it to Bezrat HaShem, give it to somebody in Torah. They stole the royalties at least. But in reality, it seems like a simple statement until you realize, wait, he's the smartest man of all. So, he's not just saying, obviously, if you... No. You understand? If you understand what is being said here, that means that we have to evaluate ourselves on a regular basis to constantly shoot for more. Why? Because every day you have new strengths that you did not have yesterday. You have new information, you have new bank account, you have new money, you have new friends, you have new contacts, you have new customers. You have more than you did yesterday. Are you using all of that to glorify Kadosh Baruch Hu's name? Sometimes people think, wait, if I already donate as much as I can, so what else can I do? Get other people. Get other people to donate. Be a fundraiser to help more people do TeShuva. Make events. There's, in so many words, make an analysis of whatever powers HaShem gave you and see, am I using all of these powers to the fullest potential? Don't think that any one thing is off limits. Why? Hashem says, everything that I made to glorify my name, I did it. Everything needs to be used, everything can be used to glorify Hashem's name. Sometimes a person thinks that it's all about my own personal resources. It's not. Hashem does not only give you resources in your pocket or bank account and in your mind. Hashem also gives you resources, sometimes your contacts, sometimes the place you live, sometimes the friends you have, family members. There's just simply a lot of different things that Hashem gives us, but we don't calculate it as part of what we have when it comes to Torah. Shlomo HaMelech says, with wisdom here, whatever you are able to do with your might, do it. You have influence, use it. You have contacts, use it. Why? Because the only regret you're going to have is what you didn't use. That's what Resh Lakish was crying about in the Gemara, where it says that after he was coming to the end of his days, he was crying because he had a little vegetable left. What are you crying about the vegetable? No, you're not understanding. I didn't use all my resources. I missed. If I missed this, maybe I missed something else too. And that's the thing that people don't realize. Everyone always says, yeah, I have a cousin and I have a friend, I have a this, I have a that. Now, you're understanding. If a person uses all of their resources to the fullest potential, they're in the busiest person in the world. Yes, they're working, but they have two jobs. They have the job that gets money to pay the bills and pay employees and whatever it is, and then there's the other job. What? Publicizing Hashem's name. How do they know that they're doing good? How do they know if they're doing good? If the blessings that come from publicizing Hashem's name help the other one also. Help the other one also.
I urge you to open up your heart, open up your wallet, support this incredible cause by donating. You're not only helping others, but you're also opening the door to divine blessings in your own life by really setting Hashem's children on the right track. Let's make a difference together, one person at a time. Thank you, and may Hashem bless all the sponsors and grow the Bezrat Hashem organization.